Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Luther Family Ford. It's November already, I guess halfway through November by now, and it's time for the November Salute to Law Enforcement here at Luther Family Ford. I'm hanging out with my friend Brian Mosher, the General Manager here at Luther Family Ford. And Brian, I know that you've got a lot full of vehicles, and I understand there's some good interest rates out now from the factory, so things are good in your world, huh?
Yeah, it's great. They came out with 0% for 60 months, so that's a big deal for us. And obviously, we have an empty showroom today, but that's not from selling, I guess, from construction. But, you know, we do have a lot of inventory out here. It's crazy. If you can't find something here, you're not going to find it anywhere.
I thought we were kind of done with the days of 0% financing. That's a huge deal for people saving a lot of interest every month. Pretty big deal.
Absolutely. I mean, interest rates are a big topic right now when it comes to buying anything, whether it's a car or a house or anything like that. So, I mean, 0% is crazy.
I feel like we should walk over and take a look at that Bronco you have with the white trim over there. There's some really neat stuff that Ford's coming out with on the electric side, and also just kind of some of those retro looks. Those are fairly popular, I bet.
They are. You know, everybody likes those looks of the old Bronco, you know, and it's pretty popular. So you and I can go talk about that after we're done here.
There we go, yeah. Well, we are here to talk about some great folks in the West Fargo Police Department who we are saluting here today. And we are honoring one member of the police department here, but really we're saying thanks to everybody on the team, and thankful to have so many of you all to come and hang out with us here today. So appreciate everybody making their way over here today. Want to say a special welcome to Chief Pete Nielsen. Pete, thank you for being here and for what you and your team do every day. And I'll visit with you here in a couple of minutes, but we appreciate you being here. Yeah, thanks so much, Pete. All right, well, the men and women of the West Fargo Police Department serve us 24/7, 365, and we're super proud to be part of this honoring event that we do each month here over at Luther Family Ford. And so with that, it's time to meet this month's honoree, and I'm happy to introduce to you this morning our November honoree, School Resource Officer Lee Mewes. Let's give Lee a big round of applause. So here's a little bit about Lee. Lee is from Colgate, North Dakota, graduated from Hope Page High School, went on to attend Bismarck State College in Paramedic Technology and North Dakota State Peace Officer Academy. Mewes was a police officer and paramedic with the Rolla Police Department and a deputy with the Steele County Sheriff's Office, each for 1 year. He spent 14 years as a deputy with Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office. He's also a U.S. Army veteran, so we thank him for his service there as well. He served as a combat medic with one tour to Afghanistan, and prior to being hired by West Fargo's Police Department as an officer on June 26 of 2023, he was a plumber and drain technician as well. And when not working, he enjoys hunting, fishing, camping, and archery. So, Lee, it sounds like you've had a lot of interesting experiences in law enforcement. Yep. Tell us about what you've learned along the way and some of the high points and some of the great memories you've had doing what you've done.
Well, it's just been a heck of a ride so far. It's been roughly 20 years of doing it, and it's a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but the best part about it is being able to come and go to work at my school.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about what Lee does day to day because he's got a unique assignment here, being a school resource officer. Is that something you always wanted to do? Like when you heard that there was this SRO position, did you think that might be kind of neat, or did it sort of happen to you and you've grown to love it? How did this all happen?
I kind of considered it something I wanted to cross off a career bucket list. School resource officer is a career goal I wanted to have. So.
Working with those kids every day. So Sergeant or SR Officer Mewes was nominated for this honor by Sergeant Patrick Hansen, and here is how he wrote up the nomination. He said, "I would like to nominate School Resource Officer Lee Mewes for the AM 1100 Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement. Lee is currently in his second year as a School Resource Officer at Horace High School. Even though he's fairly new to the SRO world, he has been doing some amazing things at that school. Student safety and security is a huge priority, and he takes his responsibility very seriously. Lee also has a great working relationship with the school administration and security guard. Together they make an impressive team. What impresses me most about Lee is his commitment and ability to build positive relationships with the students. Lee makes an extra effort to connect with all students, but especially the ones struggling with issues, even if those issues are not school related. I witnessed students come to Lee and vent to him in Lee's office instead of getting into a fight with another student or an argument with staff members. Lee is also very busy in the classroom, helping teach topics related to the law, health, or the medical field. Lee has truly become a valued staff member of Horace High School, and for the reasons above, I would like to nominate Officer Lee Mewes for the AM 1100 Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement. So pretty cool stuff there, and to be nominated by one of your own, what does it mean to have that support and encouragement from your team?
That means a lot. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Tell me about what it's like day to day as a school resource officer. I think a lot of us have an idea when you're out on the street kind of working a beat. We kind of know you're patrolling and seeing what's happening. How is it different as a school resource officer?
Well, it sort of depends on the needs of the school. Just last week I was teaching three or four classes about drugs and alcohol, along with drunk goggles, field sobriety tests, that kind of thing. And it just kind of respond as needed where things are.
How fulfilling is that to do a job where you do see kids change and you do kind of help de-escalate certain situations and take the tension out of things? And I'm guessing there's students that you see maybe after they moved on from high school that still remember you. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's the best part of the job, really, honestly. It's when you see the change in the students, and especially when they come back for football games and they visit and they remember you, and that's really cool. Yeah. Mind you, I've only had one senior class graduate, but it's happened a few times.
Yeah, well, I'm sure more and more it will too. Yeah,
I sure hope so.
Law enforcement, was it in your family? Did you kind of get bit by the bug somewhere along the way? How did this whole thing come about?
Well, my family's farmers, and I guess since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a cop. So kind of went against the grain that way.
Yeah, good. What did your family say when they learned what you were thinking about doing? Were they pretty supportive?
They weren't surprised.
Oh, they weren't surprised.
No surprise.
They kind of saw it coming. Yeah, good. Tell me a little bit about what you have, in the time you've been doing this, now you've been doing law enforcement for a number of years. How has it changed along the way? Obviously, the things you do are still basically the same, but I'm sure the ways and the tactics have changed a little bit.
They've changed, but the job's still, honestly, the same pretty much everywhere you go.
Yeah. Is there a certain experience that you'd like to have before it's all said and done, or a certain role that you'd like to do, or do you love doing what you're doing and just kind of see where the road takes you?
Kind of just going to see where the road takes.
Yeah, very good. So one of the things that we do here as part of the Salute to Law Enforcement is Brian and the team at Luther Family Ford donated a $100 gift card to the officer that is being honored this particular month. And I asked Lee before we started doing this ceremony if he had a certain place that he wanted to go, and you had a place that you thought would be great. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it's an organization called The Unseen. They're in Fargo, and they work in 24 different countries to help combat human trafficking.
Yeah, it's amazing. They are based here, got their start here, but they're all over the world, and they've done some really amazing things bringing kids home, and that's really great. So what a great place for that to go. We'll make sure that gets over to Thad and his team over there. We know them fairly well. Sandy's Donuts also saying their thanks. They're going to be delivering some goodies to the West Fargo PD and over here to Luther Family Ford as well. We've created an honoree section on our website, am1100theflag.com, where you can read up on Lee, his biography, and all of the other honorees that we have had along the way here as well. And in the days ahead, we're going to invite Lee to join the Need to Know Morning Show with Kevin and Alex and jump on the radio with us to do a radio version of this coming up very soon as well. At our company, when there's action taken by law enforcement that makes the news, we give the benefit of the doubt to the men and women who do that training, and we always want to make sure that we do that as well. Before we finish up, I always like to visit, too, with the member of law enforcement who runs that agency, and Pete Nielsen, the chief, is here too, and so we want to give Pete a chance to let us know what's happening in West Fargo and talk a little bit about Lee. So tell us a little bit. We read the biography, so we've got all the information about Lee, but what does he mean to your team as you speak from the heart about him?
Lee's a great officer, and I think Sergeant Hansen, what he put into the letter was exactly what Lee does on a day-to-day basis. He makes those connections at the school. He's able to de-escalate those individuals that are, looking to get into arguments and fights. And I think the students, they just respect Lee. They think he's, a great police officer, a great person, and that helps out a lot. So Lee makes a huge difference to Horace High School and the West Fargo School District.
Tell us about the SRO program. How many different schools, how many different officers work in that? That's a growing part of your team for sure.
Yeah, West Fargo Public Schools, it's unique, right? Because they go all the way from Harwood out to Horace, and we provide security for all the schools in there. So we have 3 elementary school SROs, and then we have 3 middle school SROs, 3 high school SROs, and we have a sergeant who oversees all of those. So we do have a lot of schools that we protect.
Yeah, very good. We always like to ask, too, before we finish up in these conversations with the chief, is there anything that the people of West Fargo should know, any trends going on or topics that you want to make sure that the people in the city are aware of these days?
Yeah, so obviously as the holidays are coming in, one of the big complaints or one of the big ticket things that we start to see now is some of the porch pirates that starts to happen. When people order the gifts for Christmas and the gifts are coming in from Amazon on the front porch, we do have some of those thefts. And as the weather is turning, hopefully it stays this way forever. But if it turns, we just ask people to slow down, especially in the school zones, because a lot of the kids will be bundled up and not looking when they're crossing the road.
Yeah, and if there is any overnight snow, some of that stuff freezes and thaws, and things get a little tough on the traffic side. So really good reminders. Chief, thank you for being here. Thanks for getting this all set up for us here today, and we appreciate you and your team and all you do to keep our community safe.
Yeah, thank you to the flag. Thanks to Luther Ford here for having us, and it's a great partnership, and we're excited each time we get to come down here.
Yeah, we are too. Thanks, Chief. Something that we really look forward to as well. All right, with that said, folks, that'll do it for the Luther Family Ford Salute to Law Enforcement here in November. But before we do, let's give one more big round of applause to School Resource Officer Lee Mewes. And we'll see you back here next time on AM1100theflag.com. Take care.